Day 5 of Eurovision 2019 is on, and we have just seen second rehearsals from 3 countries, and they were
Cyprus,
Montenegro,
and Finland.
Should we talk about it? Let's do this! Have a second look at your family's history with my heritage. Cyprus's Tamta was up first. Our girl hit replay and slay, honey. She seems much more confident with the physical moves. The dress reveal was much better this time. Last time it was almost like they were fighting to rip off her clothes. Now it's kind of, I don't know what's the word, a rip off in unison. So it's less frantic, it's more bam, pop, boom. I gotta say, the male backing vocalist and her voice, something with the mix seemed off to me, and it could be the bad acoustics in the press center, but that didn't sound 100%, and I'm sure they're fixing it. Actually, they're in the interview room now, and we were told, oh, there's a technical problem, we have to go back to the viewing room to sort something out, and so there was like a 20-minute break in the interview, so they are clearly aware of something that wasn't working. But yeah, but on the whole, I think this looks great. It's a great opener. She's definitely going to the final. She sounds good vocally. My only concern is the mix of the 2 voices.
Yeah, no, the backing vocal was way too loud. It sounded like it was just a man singing and Tamta was the backing vocalist. That wasn't right. The second run through, she only did 2, and I think it was because the first one there were so many issues with it. The second run through, it sounded better, and obviously they will get there with that. Might have just been a first thing in the morning. We've all had a day
early in the morning.
Yeah, I thought it was much better though when in that second run through they nailed the moves, the camera angles were better. The first run through it felt too bright actually, the second run through the lighting was on point. It's not as 100% polished as maybe I would have expected it to be. You know, you think of what Eleni was doing last year, just as a comparison Cyprus to Cyprus, I'm not comparing the songs.
Same Fuego 2.0.
But just in terms of where they were last year, they were a bit further along, which is why Cyprus was further ahead in the odds. I feel like they will get there, and like there isn't any fundamental problem with this, unlike another song we're going to talk about. Yeah, it was good. It was solid.
I mean, any time of the day, Tamta slays. I have to say, I actually disagree about the vocal mix. I thought it sounded fantastic the whole way. It's studio quality, which is the thing. I think a lot of these auto-tune dance tracks, the person gets there, typically they can't sing. She can sing, and another, I think, criticism that has followed her is that she's not a natural dancer. She looks adept, and there are some, like, shots that just drip sex appeal and are so veritable. There's a particular bit in the breakdown where one of her dancers reaches out to kind of touch this damp tousled hair and pull it, and it just... it didn't quite give me shivers, but it gave me something. All I can say is there's a reason this is opening the show. She is going to the final, and I thought this was really fantastic. And also so different to what Eleni did, actually, which I think has been one of the key questions here. I think it has its own appeal, its own styling. Tamta was tremendous.
It's also flipped. Eleni walked on out of the light. Tamta walks off at the end. The men do a death drop, and then she turns her back and says, bye. I love that moment. Moving on to Montenegro. This remains a guilty pleasure for me, a very guilty pleasure. I don't think this is qualifying, but I think they are such lovely people. In our interview, they are all so kind, so funny, so current, and just so open, so props to them. The song, we've said it over and over, I don't have to repeat it. It's just a bit throwback for me. But they are selling what they have. It's got a high school musical charm. They all fell down during one of the run-throughs at the end.
Yeah.
So they need to like control their excitement. But I hope they are enjoying every moment. Their moment will most likely end on Tuesday because I just don't see any path to the final for them. Not based on their talent, but based on the song. But it's good to see they're having a good time.
Yeah, they're trying. That's the nicest thing I can really say about this. The lighting, I mean, they finally managed to fix one bit of the lighting in the final run through today, but there's still so many issues. Sometimes they're in shot, sometimes they're out of shot. There's just a lot of problems with this. Fundamentally, more than anything, the song is the problem, I guess, but you know, they're trying, but I think because they're having to try so hard, sometimes they get to the point where they're overdoing it. Some of them are very frenetic and their style of performing doesn't match the rest of them, and it's all very confusing. I feel sorry for them because obviously some of them are very talented. I think there were a couple of vocal issues with a couple of the members today. It is early in the morning though, once again, so who knows quite
just
what
passing my phone to debonat@wiwibloggs.com.
But yeah, no, I think ultimately I cannot see this getting out of the semi-final. If it does, it is at the expense of something that deserves to be there instead of this.
I have to echo your thoughts. I don't see this getting out of the semi-final. They can sing well, the ethnic elements have been amped up, which helps, but ultimately this was just messy. I mean, the falling over kind of typified the whole... There are just too many production problems with this at this point. There are some shots that really have potential, but by the end of the third run, this was not polished. And I think particularly following something that is kind of like... as like crack an exercise as Tamta, it's going to make this look much less polished than it already is. I mean, they can sing well. That is about the positive that we have going for Montenegro at this point. They seem like sweet kids, but sadly, they are kind of outgunned in this semi-final.
Yeah, next up was Finland, Darude and Sebastian, Rejman. Sebastian looked a little tired today. I think he's been partying quite hard since he got to Tel Aviv.
Independence Day.
Yeah, he made the most of the celebrations. Still wearing those slightly strange leather boots that go
They're
up.
jeans.
So they're leather
They're actual
denim
jeans. Yeah.
Jeans as well.
They're very rock. They're very rock. So they're almost slightly androgynous, which is great because he's got such a strong masculine look. So he's feminizing down
Tom of
there.
Finland.
Yeah, very Tom of Finland. The positive. I really like how they were working very hard with the cameras. And you could see with each take things were changing. They're experimenting all over the place. The most effective moment for me is when the woman is drowning in the background, but then she sucks out of the water and like you see the real person then shoot up. And 2 times it didn't work. And like you could see her, you don't want to see both of them at the same time because it kills the illusion.
Yeah.
And they managed by the end to have it so it looks like she's actually being sucked up and then just reappearing. They're going to have to nail all of this, and they're going to have to keep tweaking the camera angles because this felt slightly flat. You know, I would still love to see this in the final because I like the song, and I do like the woman trapped in the glass fish tank. I really love that. I just think it's very unclear at this point. This whole Eurovision this year, my God, it's so competitive to get through.
Yeah.
So I did think this improved though. This definitely improved. So they are on the right path. Let's hope they keep going.
Yeah, no, this was every run through. There were little improvements, and they are getting there with this. I felt like on Saturday that every run through we were saying the same thing, and they weren't making any progress. Today they definitely were. The camera shots were a lot better. Sebastian looks like he's almost forcing her out of the water in one of the camera shots. So yeah, there were improvements. I still think that they're all too far apart throughout the song, and I would love to see him approach her at the end or just do something a little different, because now, instead of always being at the front, he now ends up over at the side, like opposite Darude, but it's still you're trying to make a connection between 3 performers on stage, but they're all so far apart, it's really hard to do that. And it takes 2 minutes for you to really start to connect with it. I do like the song. I do think they're making improvements. I think they might have left it a bit too late though, because there are still things they need to fix, and they only really have one more dress rehearsal to do that before the jury show. I worry for this. I don't think it's making it through, but if they can make one big leap with another improvement somewhere, it could just sneak through.
Gotta say, I love Darude's dancing. He's so at ease. You can tell he's been working those DJ booths for years.
Better than Grome.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a DJ who can move.
I mean, that wasn't hard though, right?
No, but it looks good, it looks natural, it looks cool.
No, I mean, it's true, there are problems here, it has to be said. I mean, I think I agree with Chris that actually it takes a while to get going. Certainly the first one was hard. I will say, however, that at least Sebastian uses the catwalk, which so few acts are doing. And there are, they have actually excellent use of the spread of the stage, they use the bridges, there is a lot of kinetic energy here. And actually, I think kind of the hand clap climax where there are really snap transitions of different vistas of the world, that is really appealing and effective when Sebastian vocally ad-libs. And I think it's just about that kind of high energy needs to be there the whole time, because it starts off quite limp and then gradually comes to life as you go through it. And what we actually need is to kind of be on the trip with them for the whole 3 minutes. And that will get Finland across the line. I think that's what's holding it back at the moment, is some kind of energy and pizzazz consistently.
Who was your winner of the morning?
Cyprus, of these 3.
Of these 3, Cyprus, easily.
Same for me. Who was your bottom 3?
Montenegro.
Yeah, Montenegro.
Same with me. In any case, that's what we think.
What do you think?
Do you think these 3 countries are on the right track? Have they improved? Let us know here on wiwibloggs.
Make sure to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well, and leave a comment down below.
We're on the live stream all day for rehearsals, and we also all have Twitter and Instagram, so if you want to go and follow us there, please do. We'd love to hear from you.
And you don't have to rehearse for your MyHeritage DNA test. You just take out that swab, you twirl it around, you put your saliva in the vial, and you send it off. We'll see you later. Bye!